Good. Okay, so thank you so much for being on my channel today. Could I ask you your name and where you're visiting from?
My name is Maddie and I'm from Sweden.
Okay. And what brings you to Japan?
So I usually try to go to Japan at least 3 times a year.
Wow.
And it started in my 20s. I really wanted to study Japanese, so I moved here. I studied Japanese for a year, and then I didn't want to go home. So I did an audition for a music school, and I got into that school. So I ended up being here for like 5 years.
Amazing.
And then I went home for a little bit. And then I've just been visiting either for work or just holiday because all my friends are in Japan. So yeah, I have a lot of friends and people I really like here, like musicians and voice actors and things like that.
Amazing. Wow. So you've kind of got a life in Sweden and then a life here.
Yeah, it's almost like 60-40, so 60% in Sweden, 40% in Japan.
Do you feel like a different identity? Like you have your Japan identity and then your Swedish identity? Like do you feel like you change when you're in Japan?
Yes, I feel like I can be myself when I'm in Japan somehow. I don't know, I feel like my attitude and positivity and way of speaking and just the way of being is different here in Japan. It's really hard to explain, but yeah, I feel more at home here. I keep telling my Japanese friends that I feel like if there was a previous life, I was probably Japanese. So, yeah.
So it's funny, isn't it? Because it's such a unique culture and probably quite different to that of Sweden, but yet there's something that is like, you just feel so at home.
Yeah, it's, I don't know what it is with Japanese culture, but it's so different from European culture. And I don't know, it's such a lively place to visit and to live in. There's so many things you can do here that I feel like just doesn't exist in Europe. So, yeah.
And what's something you really enjoy every time you come back here? It could be like a food or it could be a place to go, something that you love to do and no matter how many times you do it, you'll keep wanting to do it kind of thing.
So I always end up staying in Nakano because I really like the atmosphere in Nakano. I like Nakano Broadway and I'm also a huge gamer. So I love Japanese video games. So I love arcades. And since I like to sing, I always go to karaoke. And then I really love Kichioji. I think it's such a lovely and just nice place. And there's a lot of things to explore here. As for food, I think shabu shabu is my favorite. I always eat shabu shabu. Yeah. So, yeah.
You said that you've been in Japan for quite some time, so Nihongo hanashimasu ka?
少しできますよ。
すごい。最後のメッセージがありますか？皆さんはほとんど日本人。だからメッセージありますか？
はい。皆さん日本が本当に好きなのでこれからもよろしくお願いします。はい、ありがとうございます。
上手。いいね。Okay, thank you so much for your time. ありがとうございました。
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was great. Yeah, lovely. Lovely. Okay, so thank you so much for being on my channel today. Could I ask you your name and where you're visiting from?
Yeah, of course. My name is Celia. I'm French-American, like half French, half American, born and raised in France, but now I'm living in Spain.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. And what brings you to Japan this time?
Well, I used to live in Japan a long time ago. It's been 15 years ago now. And a lot of my friends back in high school, middle school were Japanese and showed me a lot, which kind of started my interest. And then I've been coming back regularly since, just coming to visit friends and going to new places every time I come.
Lovely. Where did you live when you were here when you were living?
I lived in Kyoto at that time.
So was that difficult? Because I feel that Kyoto is kind of like the culture capital. And as a foreigner, did you struggle with living there or was it actually very enjoyable?
I very much enjoyed it, which is why I keep on coming back. I had a wonderful time. I can't say enough positive things about my time there.
Good. What were some key memories that you will always carry with you from your time in Japan, either visiting or living here?
I think I specifically like the experience of going to a Japanese university and joining Japanese clubs, and I thought everyone was so welcoming and kind at that time. Another memory I have was I would love cycling around the city and along the river, and those are memories I always keep with me.
That's so nice. Yeah, lovely. And so now we are in Tokyo. What kind of things are you doing during your trip this time?
So it's very casual. I've been here many times. I'm really just here to come visit some friends and some friends' family that I've known for a long time. And every time I come back, I spend time with them. So it's not as much going to sightseeing areas as it is to really just go to cafes with my friends, visit new restaurants, and having more of a local experience, I would say.
If it isn't too personal a question, why did you choose to move back to Spain, or why did you choose to leave Japan?
It was more administration. I was going through having to decide to go full-time to the Japanese university, and honestly it was just a paperwork issue where I had kind of missed some deadlines, realized I wasn't well positioned. I had an admission in a school in Canada for a while, so I thought it was just a easy way. There was not much thought behind it, but I would have been very happy staying as well, I think.
Yeah, I see. Okay. And 日本語話しますか？
日本語はなんとなく話せます。
すごい。私は上手じゃない。でも日本語のメッセージがありますか？私のビューアーさんはほとんど日本人。So メッセージありますか？
そうですか。急に聞かれたらちょっと難しいんですけど、日本はとても素敵な国だと思うし、日本人もいつも優しくしてくれてるので、いつもまた来たくなりますね。はい、それで。
Thank you. Okay, I have one last question for you, and I wonder, why did you choose to come to Japan at this time of year? It's quite cold, it's Oshogatsu and the Christmas period. Why did you choose to come now?
Yeah, well, for one, it just happened that I have a very long break at this point right now, so I had a few options, and then I come back to Japan also because I have so many friends here, so I know that I'll always have company coming here. And even if it is cold, I always thought today's not the best day to say this, but it's always been so sunny, and the seasons are really beautiful in Japan whenever you come, and I think there's a lot about the New Year's and the Christmas season in Japan that's like really beautiful as well. And if I were to go back in Europe, it tends to be sometimes very gray and very shut down, so it's, I think, actually a great time to come visit as well.
Yeah, okay, lovely. All right, well, thank you so much for your time today, and enjoy your time here. Thank you.